So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, everywhere, anywhere you may be, all over the world. My name is Oluwato Simbaji. I'm a chartered accountant and I'm the managing partner of Those John Consulting. So, if you are conversant with our YouTube video, you will know that we've been bringing you a lot of enlightenment video from value-added tax to team registration, withholding tax, taxes, compliances, CAC, annual filing, registration, audit, accounting services, and different compliances that businesses requires to stay compliant as a responsible business and to avoid penalties, sanctions, or enforcement from the regulatory authorities. That's from SIRS, State Internal Revenue Service, Federal Inland Revenue Service, and of course, corporate affairs commissions and every regulatory bodies that a business belongs to in your industries. So in today's video, so many informations have been going all out there because of the Nigerian Tax Act 2025, which is taking effect from 1st of January 2026. And businesses are putting things in place to get ready. And of course, we are bringing you videos on all of that, so you can check on our YouTube channels. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us, and of course, refer us to businesses that requires all our professional consulting, accounting, audit services. So businesses have been asking business owner entrepreneurs, should I register my business as a business name or as a limited liability company? And those that are already registered as a business name, should I upgrade? Should I leave it as business name? So regardless whether you're a business name or you are limited, there are tax obligations irrespective of the categories of business. Even NGOs are not excluded from tax obligations. Yeah, you may not be paying tax maybe because of your threshold, but that does not exempt you from filing taxes. So in today's video, we want to look at, of course, we brought you video on that before, and we'll still be bringing you more videos for clarity, for more enlightenment, for more information. Should I leave my business as the business name or should I leave it as a limited company? And what are the obligations, implications, and maybe the expenses that I might be incurring for compliances? And for compliance's sake, right, we'll still bring you a video on that. Compliance, no, yes, you're going to pay because you are a reputable business and want to be responsible, but compliances are a strategic move. We are going to be bringing you a video on that. When you are compliant, it is a strategy for you to further make your business more transparent. It's like you are upholding integrity, and then you are a responsible and, of course, reliable business. Because if you don't put all those compliances in place, your business might be at risk in one way or the other. You don't want to see that happening for your business. So in today's video, business name, limited liability company, what are the obligations, the taxes? So we're going to be showing you in this video. The first thing you must know, regardless of any structure that you choose, like we said earlier on, taxes are involved, both business name and limited liability. We have brought you a video on taxes for business name, taxes for limited liability company. So taxes are involved in both ways. So we have withholding tax, taxes that you deduct at source from your suppliers or vendors before paying them. So we have videos on that. Withholding tax, yes, that's value added tax, VAT. We have videos on that on our YouTube channel. So both limited and business name we remit withholding tax if there are transactions in that line. Value added tax you will remit or you will file. Even if you are not paying, you will file. And then there's stamp duties unless you are specifically exempted. So that's the only thing that will make you not to pay all these taxes. But that does not mean that you are not going to file. You are going to file for these taxes. So that's one of the things you must be aware of. Then number two, business names pay personal income tax to the states where they operate. So yes, business name are not going to pay company income tax because they are not a legal entity. They are not a separate legal entity, but they are going to pay personal income tax. So the owner of the business will file personal income tax, just like normal payee. You know, we have a graduated computation on that on our YouTube channel. So the same way that an employee in a paid employment will pay the taxes, right? That's the same way the business name, which will be taxed in the name of the business owner, the owner of the business. So he's going to pay the personal income tax. So the applicable tax rate ranges from 0 on the first 800,000, which is more like exempted, 0% of taxable income, to 25% on income above 50 million. So from 0 to 25% on the income of the business, which will be taxed in the name of the business owner. So we have a video on that. And if you need more clarity on that, you can reach out to us. Then number three, limited liability companies pay their own taxes to Federal Inland Revenue Service, except for their employees. So for their employees, it is the state where the employee resides that they will remit their payee to. But for the company, they will pay their own taxes to Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, which from next year will be Nigerian Revenue Service. So the tax ranges from 0% for small companies with revenue of 100 million and below. So from 100 million and below, for company, they will pay 0% company income tax, right? And while 30% for large companies with revenue that exceed 100 million and above. So that's the difference that you must know. Then now, a good example is this. Let's assume both business name and limited liability company. Both of them earn 45 million as revenue. 45 million as revenue and 10 million as profit during a year. Yes, 45 million and there's 10 million as profit. So the 45 million is the revenue, that's the turnover, and 10 million is the profit, that's the bottom line. What the tax will look like for both business name and limited liability company. So for business name, the first 800,000 of profits will be exempted, that's at 0%. Then the remaining 9.2 million, of course, 10 million minus 800,000, you have 9.2 million, will be taxed using the graduated tax scale from 15 to 18%, right, that we have currently. So the estimated tax will now be 1,590,000. So that's 1.6 million, roughly 1.6 million will be paid as tax when we subject it to the graduated tax scale for personal income tax. So that's for the business name, for the business. which will be taxed in the name of the owner of the business. So why for limited liability company, that's the LTD, since the turnover is below 100 million, right? We say 45 million, so it's below 100 million. It qualifies as a small company, and the CIT payable is 0%. So why business name is paying 1.6 million, limited liability company, which is under the small company, because the turnover is 100 million below, we pay 0% CIT, which is still 0. However, if both entities' revenue is 500 million with profit of 100 million, this implies that business name will be taxed on, of course, the graduated tax rate of 25%, which is 22.9 million for business name, while limited liability company will pay 30%, which is 30 million, excluding development levy of 4%. So you can see the difference. Why you will not be paying tax in one if your turnover is below for limited liability company. You will be paying more if it is more than that. Why business name will pay here and then they will pay less in this other place. So there are tax implications in both sides. So that is what we want you to understand for you to choose which one will be best for you. And if you reach out to us, we'll be able to give you a proper guide and guidance. And that's what we are doing in this video for you, so that you will have a clarity. So the advice here is that if you earn 100 million throughout your lifespan of your business, so then limited liability company will be efficient for tax purpose, since the CIT rate will be 0%, right? But there are some other taxes. There's development levy, right? But of course, because your turnover is 100 million below, you'll be exempted from those ones. So the taxes that you will now be paying will now be for your employee, which of course a business name will also pay as well. So on the other hand, if your business is expected to earn hundreds of millions, maintaining a business name could become flexible and more tax efficient, since the highest tax rate on profit will be 25%, which is lower than 30% rate for limited liability company, right? Then there are some other factors that you will need to look at. The investors, then getting more, facilities, more money, increasing your capital base, weighing some internal foreign investors and all of that. And you know that definitely a limited liability company will be, embraced more than a business name, right? So tax is one aspect. Why the aspect of managerial, weighing more investors, foreign visibilities is other things that you need to look at beyond the tax that you are going to pay. And nobody wants to remain small, except if that person is comfortable in his small, place that he or she is operating as a business. So while taxes may differ, perspective often drive preference, such as many clients, institutions feel more comfortable transacting with a limited liability company, definitely, because a limited liability company have a legal entity, separate legal entity, while a business name doesn't. The business and the owner, they are just the same. So the best business structure is not the one that saves the most on taxes, right? But the one that supports growth, credibility, long-term visions, and so many other things, right? That businesses, are involved in, right? So that is what we are bringing to you to give you more clarity as we prepare for this new, Nigerian Tax Act 2025, which is coming in less than 40 days, 40, 41, 42 days time. So let's get ready. Reach out to us. Feel free to call us. We are present on all our social media platforms, Position Consulting, and we'll be ready to help you, to support you as a business support partner, to work with you as a tax consultant, as an external auditors, and all your compliance matters that relates to your business. Thank you very much for listening to us in this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and refer us to businesses that needs all our professional compliance services, and will be ready and willing to work with them. So until we meet your way next in another video, make sure you stay compliant. Bye for now.